All right, welcome everyone to this Thursday night's edition of Southern Woods and Waters, and have we got a great show for you. I'm telling you, we're going to start off with the recipe. I got to tell you about the recipe just for a minute because it's fresh on my mind. You know, last week was Shark Week. Well, this week we're going to show you what you do when you go out there and you get the shark. That's what we're going to show you this week. With me tonight, I got two great guests. One just got back from Orlando, Florida, from ICAST, and that is the biggest fishing show in the nation. And that is Chad Hoover with HOOK1. Chad, thank you so much for being on the show, bro.
Thanks, Hugh. Thanks for having me.
And you got all this nice new attire, all came from ICAST.
All coordinated.
You're colorful tonight.
Bright. I came from ICAST, and before that I came from Costa Rica. So I went down there for this Colombia Tested Tough campaign, and I'm the guy that tests the seams and see how strong they are.
Now,
if I can
was
bust
you
them
on
out of the
top
seams.
on that top platform? Were you polling anybody?
Dude, we were doing it all. We did backwater, backwoods, hiking and climbing, zip lining. We rode horses. I got a mule. Like there's 25 horses out there, and I got a mule. I got a mule. I guess I just figured that was the only one that could carry him. And so we rode the mules and horses back into the rainforest, and we're supposed to whitewater kayak and raft out of there, but it started raining that night, and the water came up so high that we had to hike and backpack back out of there. And so it was fun. It was a good time.
You're kind of glad to have a mule.
Yeah, I caught my first Pacific sailfish. Got one about 9 foot. It was somewhere between 90 and 100 pounds. That was my first billfish on the Pacific side, and didn't get a rooster fish, which is what I went down there for, but man, we caught.
Those things are beautiful.
Yeah, and talk about a beautiful country. And,
yeah.
It was hot.
Now, they have the peacock bass there, too?
No, that's a little further south. Down in Venezuela or Brazil. Or, yeah, Peru and Ecuador and all those countries further south.
Well, you just got back from ICAST, and that is the Fisherman's Dream Show. Now, that is where all the newest products come out. They come as a dealer. You're invited to go down there and place orders, of course. That's what they want you for. But you also get to kick the tires and do all that of all the kind of new products. I got to ask one question before we introduce Brent over here to everybody, and that is, what impressed Chad Hoover?
Well, I'll tell you what's really impressed me, and that's the fact that, you know, as a kayak fisherman over the last 5 to 7 years, the kayaks have slowly but surely kind of become a lot more prominent, and a kayak won Best of Show and Best Boat again this year, and so that's the 4th year in a row that a kayak has won Best, you know, the most prestigious award out there, and that's taken it away from Pure Fishing and Shimano and some of these giants that have that have dominated for a long time. Last year, ICAST combined with IFTD, the International Fly Tackle Dealers show, and attendance was down for IFTD last year, but it was back up even over previous years this year. Lots of new innovative stuff. A lot of it is going to come out for spring of next year. The tackle companies are up in their game. The rod companies are up in their game. I was down there to help a lot of my sponsors, but we were launching the Doomsday Turtle, you know, into the mainstream. I fished the prototypes all year, shot some stuff on the TV shows with them, smashed some bass. I only got to film with it 3 times by the time we got the final version done, and I got 4 bass over 8 pounds. I saw them. 3 other people got fish over 8 pounds on them, and public water and private water, open lakes and backwoods, and it's just a deadly effective lure. It was really well received down there. They had a great booth. I got to shoot segments with a lot of the other hosts from World Fishing Network, and did some crossover promotion stuff, and it was just a good time. You know, like you said, if you're a fisherman, you're like a kid in a candy store down there running around that building full of all of our adult toys that we play with on a daily basis in the outdoors. And you know, I don't have a real hardcore allegiance to any particular lure company because I like to tinker so much, and I'm good friends with one of the designers at Spro. They've got some really cool stuff coming out. You know, they put that great tournament on down at Gunnersville. Oh, yeah. Gary Yamamoto makes some great plastics, and he's come out with a new hard bait line last year. This year they kind of upped the game. Rapala, the stuff from Livingston. You know? So what's funny is the competition creates innovation, and innovation creates better products for all of us. So,
fish don't stand a chance, do they?
Oh man, Lowrance come out with a whole new line of the Elites this year. They added a 9-inch screen to the Elite series, so for under $1,000, you're in a 9-inch chirp, you know, super high resolution, 3D structure scan integrated into the transducer. Just a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And
fish have no place to hide.
And we did a lot of promo videos on the new stuff, and we put them on our YouTube channel, Kayak Bassin TV, so you guys can go check those out. But yeah, man, it was a good time.
It was a good time, wasn't it?
Didn't get to fish. It was hot.
But that's okay.
Yeah,
I mean, but you were talking fishing the entire time.
Absolutely. I got the cast.
That's the next best thing. Along with us tonight, we have Brent Price. And Brent, owner and operator of Cracker Boy Cracker Girl Seasoning. It is his birthday today. And while you're all sitting there watching us on TV, you can hum a few bars, and we'll hum Happy Birthday to you. No, I'm just kidding. Joyce said we were going to bring it in here and have the candles on it, but they were afraid the fire marshal wouldn't let us in the building.
This is true.
They thought this hat was
I have to get my digs in when I can, but now you just recently came back from a very big show down in Alabama.
Birmingham.
In Birmingham.
The World Deer and Turkey Expo.
The World Deer and Turkey Expo. And that's where all the guys that do the hardcore hunting deer and turkey, they come out and show their stuff too, trying to get people ready for the upcoming hunting season.
There are vendors there from all over the world.
It's amazing. That thing's huge.
Everywhere.
Now, the one big show that they have every year, Archery is the ATA show, which is Archery Trade Association. The other one is Safari Club International. They put
it's out in Dallas.
It's right, and then they have one in Vegas, the SHOT Show.
SHOT Show.
Yep.
So those are 3 shows for hunting. ICAST is really one for fishing.
Well, and then NWTF right here in Nashville. That's a really big show.
The NWTF here in Nashville. So there's really some big shows that people can get involved in. But everybody was invited to go to the Birmingham to the World Deer and Turkey Expo.
They were. I believe I had heard numbers of about 45,000 people walk through the door. A lot of people. Now, I'll be in Atlanta at the Buckarama next weekend.
Yeah, now that's the one that Jackie Bushman and all them highlight a lot when they do the shooting competition.
Well, no, that is going to be Buckmasters,
that's
which is in Montgomery.
You're right.
That's going to be in Montgomery. We'll be there as well.
Okay, but
that's
the next one's in Atlanta?
Yes, sir, and that's the Buckarama.
Now, is it...
Georgia Wildlife Federation puts that on.
Okay. Is it as big as the World...
It's a pretty good size show. Yeah, I'd say there's
one in Pennsylvania that you go to. It's real big.
That is the Harrisburg show.
Okay.
Eastern Outdoor Show.
The Eastern Outdoor Show.
Well, the NRA's bought that out.
Okay.
So now it's run by. Oh yeah, about. I did it for 12 years, and they were saying about 1.4 million people walked through that thing in 9 days. It's a 9-day show, and it's tough on the body, I can tell you.
Now, other than the Cracker Boy and Cracker Girl new seasonings coming out and the new stuff you got coming out, and I'm not letting the cat out of the bag yet.
It's here, but I'm
still not going to let it out of the bag yet. Other than that product, though, what impressed you at Birmingham?
Well, we've done that show for so long. We have so many residuals. We have people, I've seen kids grow from 5 years old to they've got kids.
Was there any products that really just...
I didn't really get the opportunity to walk around a whole lot because we were so busy.
That's good, dude.
Yeah, we had a real good show. That's always been a good show for us. We've had a lot of, customers come back year after year.
Well, that's tonight's show. We're going to be talking about these shows that they've gone to. I also want to talk, Chad really did a good job, I believe. He sent a lot of stuff back on Facebook and everything. Of course, I was sitting there just waiting for him to send me something else that I could like. But we're going to talk about some of that stuff, and then some upcoming episodes that Chad's going to do. And we're going to have Chad on our show. He and I are going to actually get out there, do a little of the kayaking too this year. Did want to say one thing. We've been doing pretty good ourselves right here in our own back door. We went out the other night, and just a few of us, and we spent about 4.5, 5 hours jugging, and we wound up with 37 fish, weighed 166 pounds.
Wow.
So not bad for a bunch of old country boys with short cut-off shorts and everything. So, hey, we got to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to get in depth with Chad and Brent. Hurry back to more Southern Woods and Waters.